Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! I would just like to take this chance to say thank you so much to every fan of Freya Skye for blowing up my most recent Freya Skye video about her playing Rapunzel in Disney's upcoming live-action Tangled. This will be the latest installment of Disney's live-action franchise, and there are a lot of rumors surrounding Freya Skye's involvement in this franchise, playing Rapunzel for the first time ever. Now, the thing is, Freya Skye's only been in one movie up to this point, of course, Zombies 4: Dawn of the Vampires. But just because she's only been in one movie does not mean she's going to have more opportunities offered to her. And I think she's really going to make the most of this opportunity if this opportunity becomes a reality for her. And I think she really deserves the chance to play Rapunzel. You talk about Rapunzel's personality, how appreciative she was of life, how curious she was, and how oftentimes her curiosity would get the better of her. I think her personality fits the personality of Freya Skye so perfectly. And I think more of a chance needs to be taken on her to give her a chance to play Rapunzel, because this will allow her to have more opportunities in the future. It will allow her to become an established name, which oftentimes is very difficult to do, especially with the entertainment industry forever and always evolving and forever and always changing. It's constantly evolving, forever and always changing. So because this is happening for the entertainment industry, and we're seeing so many new names make their way into the entertainment industry day after day, night after night, I think that this is an opportunity that if ever presented to Freya Skye, fans should take the most of it with so much love and support, and she should really seize this opportunity. And I want to let you guys know something. For those of you who believe the same thing I do along the lines of Freya Skye playing the live-action Rapunzel, giving her curiosity, her appreciation for life, and how appreciative she is of every moment she's had to share with each and every one of you early on in her career, I support each and every one of you who believe that Freya Skye is going to be the next Rapunzel in the live-action Tangled, because so many names have found their way into this conversation. Names like Dove Cameron, Sabrina Carpenter, even McKenna Grace, who is one of the latest names to be suggested, have been offered up to play the live-action Rapunzel, but I think nobody could ever get it done as effectively and as powerfully as what Freya Skye will be able to do, because Freya Skye has somewhere, somehow, managed to touch every fan of Descendants and Zombies' heart. And I have this to say to Freya Skye: for everything you've done so early on in your career, I have a great deal of appreciation and profound respect for you, and I want you to know that. And I also want you to know that you're doing a wonderful job touching the hearts of every fan of Descendants and Zombies that there is out there, because they do exist. And I think there are more fans of Freya Skye out there than ever given credit for. If you are one of the millions of Freya Skye fans, you are special in your own way, and you've offered so much up to Freya Skye because you've offered her encouragement, and a great deal of encouragement with that. And because of your love and support for Freya Skye, she is in a position right now to really take over and continue captivating for many years to come. We have the Freya Skye Stars Align concert tour kicking off on February 6th this year, and I'm really excited about that because tickets are sold out everywhere for the Freya Skye Stars Align tour, and I'm really excited to be a part of that, sitting in this chair in my house, reviewing the show for each and every one of you, because I shoot these videos from outside of my office, and I've loved having the opportunity to meet so many incredible fans of Descendants and Zombies, because I just wanted to create something special for every single person out there who may have ever believed in Freya Skye, whoever wanted to be a part of these memorable experiences, such as the Zombies Descendants Worlds Collide Tour, which was really incredible in its own right, because that allowed Freya Skye to achieve more exposure and more recognition than anything else she'd ever been a part of in her life. Because you talk about shows like The Next Step and all these opportunities Freya had prior to this, leading up to this moment, nothing ever came close to a comparison that could have been made to the profound success she saw from Zombies 4 and, of course, the Worlds Collide Tour. These are moments that should forever and always be cherished. These are moments that should never ever be forgotten. And because moments like these only happen once in every lifetime, they should be celebrated and honored together. And together, we were a part of something special because of Freya, and we allowed Freya to be a part of each and every one of our lives because we accepted her. And her British accent, too, I think would fit perfectly with bringing the character Rapunzel to life. Because when you think about people who have been suggested to play Rapunzel, the question I have for you all is, do you really think that Sabrina Carpenter would make a phenomenal Rapunzel? Now, if you're a die-hard fan of Sabrina Carpenter, I understand how you feel, and I have respect for you. But I think that the same three or four celebrities are always ending up in this conversation, regardless if it's Sabrina Carpenter, regardless if it's Dove Cameron, regardless if it's this or this person. I think that more of a chance needs to be taken on somebody like Freya, because I've said oftentimes that she's just 16 years old and she's really still figuring out her place in the world. And with that comes an emotional time in her life, an emotional experience, because she's had all these breakdowns on stage during the Worlds Collide Tour, performances of her own. I remember seeing her at the Jingle Ball earlier this year and how impressed I was by the performance that she gave, because she was so young. She was a lot younger than a lot of people on the Jingle Ball bill this year, but she did one of the most captivating performances that I had ever seen in my life. There are videos of this all across YouTube, and there have been so many rumors about opportunities that have been extended and offered to Freya since performances like the iHeartRadio Jingle Ball 2025. I think that we should bring her back for the 2026 iHeartRadio Jingle Ball, even though it's a year away, because I think that with how you can captivate people the way Freya has, and how you can undeniably touch people's hearts the way Freya has, how can you not go on without recognizing how far Freya has come in such a short amount of time? It is truly incredible. I can't even put into words how appreciative I am of the fans of Freya, because for me to sit here in this chair every day and talk about Freya is one way of looking at it. But from your guys' perspective, you think she's the greatest thing in the world, and I think because you guys think she's the greatest thing in the world, she should be honored for that. And I think if the same three or four people can be honored as Disney legends each and every year at the D23 Expo, so too can Freya Skye belong in this conversation, because she's forever belonging in this conversation. And I hope that 20 years from now, even earlier than that, we will be having this conversation about how your favorite Descendants and Zombie stars have belonged forever and always in this conversation, and will be honored in an upcoming D23 Expo. Because you look at the contributions of Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker right now, I mean, nobody has ever offered so much heart and dedication to the Descendants franchise the way Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker have. They brought these characters, Red and Chloe Charming, the daughters of the Queen of Hearts, and Cinderella and Prince Charming, to life in a way that nobody else would have ever been able to get it done or come through. Because you talk about the performances of Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson, even with how captivating they were, could you ever remember as enthralling of a performance or so much heart and dedication being brought forth for two individual characters the way that Red and Chloe Charming were by Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker? It happened because they had so much heart, and they believed in these characters so much. They did the research. They were always fans of Alice in Wonderland and Cinderella. I was too. I feel like Mater from the Cars movie series, because he was always there for everything Lightning McQueen kind of went through. You know, he always used to say in the Cars shorts that he was there too, and everything that Lightning McQueen would try to express his emotions for, having been there to experience. Well, I feel like I've been there too, you know, for the rise and popularity of popular franchises that wanted to see so much success like Cinderella and Alice in Wonderland, having everything to do with how we very quickly fell in love with Cinderella and Alice in Wonderland because of the story's verity and how it would resonate with so many wonderful people. Because you can't deny that you didn't resonate with Cinderella and Alice in Wonderland. They were such classics. And now we're having classic stories retold all the time, like Peter Pan, Princess and the Frog, and Encanto. Now I know Princess and the Frog is relatively new, but it opens up the door for more storylines to be introduced into the Descendants franchise and offers an expansion unlike anything we've ever seen in our lives. So I think if there was anything to take a chance on in this lifetime right about now, it would have to be Descendants and Zombies. If not Descendants Zombies, and if not Zombies Descendants, because I can never remember a time or a generation being represented by a franchise or franchises that have captivated millions of people the way Descendants and Zombies has. With everything being offered, music, an incredible script, incredible characters. It is truly unbelievable and uncomparising to anything that I've ever had the chance to review as a YouTuber, because one of my greatest honors was having the chance to review so many critical things that happened through every generation that I ever had the honor of being a part of. And this generation, and having the chance to be a part of this and experience this the way that I have with each and every one of you, was a profound honor. I don't care how anybody feels about Descendants and Zombies out there who reviews these things the way that I do, because nobody's ever been able to review Descendants and Zombies the way I ever have, and nobody's ever put an incredible amount of time and effort behind everything that I believed in the way that I have for Descendants and Zombies, because I've always believed that if we're going to talk about Descendants and Zombies, then that is exactly what we should do, while giving people hope for the foreseeable future, that things like mermaids and witches and sirens are eventually going to happen, and people like Freya, Skye, Malachi Burton are going to put forth forth a consistent effort in bringing these characters and their individual stories to life, because everybody who was ever part of Descendants and Zombies had their own individual story and their own unique way of telling it. I just wish they had more of an opportunity to tell it the way that they want to do, as opposed to writers and producers who believe this is the right way and the most preferred way to tell a story. The way you've got to tell a story is you've got to realize that once you put that story out there, you have to realize it's no longer your story, which means it becomes the story of the fans. And how they want to have this story told is how the story should be told, forever and always. You just can't put a story out there and think that it's forever and always going to remain yours, because it isn't. Once you put your art out there for people, it becomes their art. And how they want to see it told, how they want to talk about it, is entirely up to them how they accept it, or even if they accept it, because there have been a lot of concepts over the years that kind of just faded off into obscurity that Disney tried to do something with. So many shows could never get off the ground. Kim Possible, Bonkers, The Jungle Book, Timon and Pumbaa. There were so many franchises that tried to have a profound amount of success left behind, a legacy if you would, but they kind of just faded off into obscurity because nobody could really ever make sense of what Disney was trying to promote from whatever generation that you were a fan of. And believe you me, I've been a part of every generation of Disney, but I could never remember having the opportunity to be a part of a franchise or franchises that would go on to captivate millions of people the way that Descendants and Zombies did. And when it came to Tangled, I remember in 2010 seeing the premiere of this one at the Capitan Theater in California. And it was just an amazing experience, seeing how everybody came out of love and support for Mandy Moore in this really iconic role, a role she had dreamed of having the opportunity to bring to life. And for the first time ever in 2010, she had the opportunity to do just that. Because so many people, even with how much she believed in the character Rapunzel, millions of other people believed in it just as much. And that allowed Mandy Moore to bring this character to life. So be it that such an iconic name in the music industry ever since 1999 had the chance to bring this character to life. And I remember being so captivated by Mandy Moore and the portrayal of this character, and just how dedicated, with how much heart and dedication she was dedicated to this character, and how much this character would go on to mean to her heart. Because I watched the PR for Tangled too, and I watched a lot of PR for Tangled. And one thing that I took into consideration was just how appreciative Mandy Moore was of this role, because ever since donning the character Rapunzel, she had a greater appreciation for it, and she did it better than anybody else ever could. And I had a profound amount of respect. I remember specifically having a profound amount of respect for Mandy Moore and everything she did to bring this character to life. She had so much incentive, she had so much heart and dedication. So I think that Disney fans would prefer somebody with just as much heart and dedication playing the live-action version of Rapunzel. And that may never come in the form of Sabrina Carpenter. That may never happen because of Mechanic Race. But I have every reason to believe that it could happen because of names such as Ruby Rose Turner and Freya Skye, who have forever been in this conversation, having everything to do with Descendants and Zombies fans. That's why I can never seem to say thank you guys enough for all the love and support that you've shown every video that I've ever uploaded. I would also love to see how Freya Skye would interact with CGI'd characters like Pascal and Maximus from the Tangled franchise, because I think a lot of these characters are often forgotten, because I think there's a greater appreciation to have for these characters and how they really brought Tangled to life. Because I remember Rapunzel's relationship with Pascal and Maximus, and how we couldn't go an episode of the Tangled series or a Tangled movie without seeing them have some involvement in some capacity, in some form or another, with the Tangled franchise through their interactions with Rapunzel. I also remember these iconic scenes where they sang the song Now I Can See the Light or Wind in My Hair, which were songs that were really go on to define how successful of a franchise Tangled was. So this is a live action, when you really think about it, that Disney can ill afford to make any mistakes with. I have every reason to believe they're going to come through with this, because depending on who the director and the writer and producer is, to have a greater appreciation for Tangled, this one will be one of the greatest live actions of all time. The next one on the calendar for the live action franchises will be Moana in July 2026. And this is going to be one that I'm going to be incredibly excited to attend. I can't forget to mark that one down on my calendar, because this summer is going to be big for every fan of Descendants and Zombies, even because Descendants 5 with Wonderland is going to drop in that same summer, and it's going to drop within the same month. So I think Moana comes out on July 7th, 2026. I'm going to have to check my calendar, and I think Descendants will come out shortly after that. So we have a big summer, and Disney is going to generate a lot of attention, get a lot of great reviews, but in every great review that we're going to see for things like, of course, Moana and Descendants and all these projects having something to do with zombies, there is going to be a fair share of criticism shown to these franchises, and I really wish that more people would go on YouTube and record videos with so much as incentive and as heart as what I've put behind every video that I've ever uploaded. Because the one thing that you've got to do every single time that you ever push record when it comes to a Descendants or Zombies video is you've got to show that same level of gratitude and appreciation for your audience as your audience has for you. Without that mutual understanding and that point reached, you can never seem to record as effectively of a video about Descendants and Zombies until you understand your audience and you keep giving your audience what they want. So a Tangled Freya Skye rumored video reached over 100 views in less than 24 hours on this YouTube channel, so I thought, why not record another one? This video may never see as many views or as many subscribers as the original one did, but I'm letting my opinion be known on how I feel about an opportunity being extended such as this to Freya, because I think that more opportunities like this should be given to Freya, because when you give somebody like Freya this much of a chance and you believe in Freya that much, more great music will happen for her. She will have more opportunities to have these defining roles that will help her become a success in the entertainment industry and forever and always allow her to remain on top of the industry, which again, as I said earlier on here, is always forever evolving, always forever constantly changing. So because there's always new names being introduced into an industry that is always trying to shape the future, I think that we can shape iconic names like Freya and Ruby into what they have always and forever deserved of being and being recognized for. So many contributions, so much heart, and really teen idols. I remember years ago when people like Hilary Duff and Britney Spears, without any argument, ever being presented, were the greatest teen idols of all time. For how much of an inspiration people drew from them, no matter how unethical some of their approaches may have been and how much criticism they received, everybody loved Britney Spears. Everybody loved Hilary Duff. Everybody loved Jessica Simpson. And now in this generation, with the times changing, we too as fans have had to change with it. Some of us have agreed with it, others not so much. But I think that as the times change and more superstars become introduced to us and are put in front of us in front of the camera, I think more people like Ruby Rose Turner and Freya Skye should feel confident in seizing these opportunities. And if ever somebody was given that distinction and that definitive role as Rapunzel in the live-action Tangled, it would have to be Freya Skye. And I just want to let it be known that if people like Ruby Rose Turner and Freya Skye come out as Rapunzel in the live-action, I will be there center stage. I will be out there in full support of Freya and Kylie, because I really do believe that these people deserve more opportunities. They have had the spotlight snatched from underneath them for far long enough. And I think it's about time we show them the respect they've forever and always deserved. I would love to have something to do with these live actions like Descendants and Zombies and Tangled and all these rumors that are being suggested, because they still have a long way to go, and I guess that's one of the reasons why all these rumors are happening, why they're happening the way that they are. And I think more people just want to take more of a chance on people like Freya and Kylie all the time. So the more that we can have these conversations and we can let people know how we truly feel about live action Tangleds and live action Moanas and live action Descendants and live action Zombies, I think the more opportunity we should make of it and the more chance we should look at it for having been, because it truly is a wonderful time to be a fan of Descendants and Zombies, given so much that's already happened with the release of Snow Angels and Freya Skye's latest single Silent Treatment, which just surpassed over 3.1 million views on YouTube just last night. That's incredible when you really sit back and put that into perspective and you think about how far Freya Skye has come in such a short amount of time. You think about 25 years from now and how much Freya Skye will have accomplished. She will definitely be in that same conversation as a Taylor Swift, because Taylor Swift's forever been in these conversations, and I've had one too many conversations about Taylor Swift, and I've grown tired of it, because people like Taylor Swift, Sabrina Carpenter, Ariana Grande, Mechanic Race are always ending up in the conversation. Come to think of it, I think I just saw Mechanic Race and Regretting You, which is her latest movie, and obviously there's a lot of hype surrounding around these celebrities, but I think we can give more of a chance to people who have forever and always been deserving of these opportunities, because we still have a long way to go. We still have so much of a long way to go with Descendants and Zombies. We still have so much to believe in, and I'm really excited about it. And I'm really excited to be on this journey with so many wonderful fans of Descendants and Zombies, as we've already discovered so many passions, but we still have so many passions to continue to follow and yet to discover, and that keeps the door more widely open for more storylines, more innovative characters, different plots, stuff to be excited about in the way of music and entertainment. There's so much value that comes with being a fan of Descendants and Zombies. And because there's so much value in what it takes to be a fan of Descendants and Zombies and what's put us where we are right now and gotten us to this point with Descendants and Zombies over a decade past, I think there is so much fun to take with Descendants and Zombies, and so much of a chance to have with this. And I think that with how many more people are falling in love with Descendants and Zombies, who out there wouldn't want to take a chance on Freya Skye? If you're somebody who has never heard any of her music or has never believed in Freya Skye, I think it's about time that you do. Because when you do take a chance on Freya Skye, I promise you, no regrets will come with it, and you will be thankful that you realized who Freya Skye was, and you took that much of a chance on her as millions already had. Because there is a reason why everybody is falling in love with Freya, and even if it comes in the form of Rapunzel and a live-action Tangled, I'm all there for it. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support you've shown my past Freya Skye videos and so many more Freya Skye videos yet to come. If you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, you're probably going to want to think about doing that because we have so many more of these conversations yet to have. Having said that, I will return right after sunset this evening with a brand new video for you guys about Descendants of Zombies. We may even talk about both in that video, but that video will drop just after sunset tonight, so keep watching for that video to drop in my YouTube channel archives. It has once again been my honor to be a part of these conversations and to have these conversations with each and every one of you, because I know there are so many wonderful fans of Descendants of Zombies that I have met, but so many wonderful fans of Descendants of Zombies that I have yet to meet, that I look forward to sharing this unbelievable future together with, because we still have a long way to go, because this story is far from having been over and reached its conclusion, because I have never wanted to let go, and I've never wanted to say goodbye to these franchises that have forever and always held a very special place in each and every one of our hearts. Having said that, thank you guys so much for having watched this video. Don't forget to hit my subscribe, my like button, and to ring my bell, all that fun stuff for every time I upload a video. It's been my honor to record, edit, produce, and upload this video for every fan of Descendants of Zombies, and I hope you had just as much fun watching this video as I did recording it for you. If you believe that Freya Skye is going to be the live-action Rapunzel, don't forget to smash that like button and show your love and support for Freya, because your kindness and your love and support truly does go a long way in a world sometimes it's very difficult to find love and support in, but together we can all make a difference as fans of this incredible fandom on this incredible journey we've been on for forever and always, discovering the power behind Descendants of Zombies. Thank you so much for having watched this video.